Traditionally, data is stored row-wise in a database. This means all the values from different columns of a record are stored together. This type of data organization is well suited for transaction processing, where requests commonly touch only a few records. But for data warehousing, where we generally scan many records but only touch a few columns, row store indexing is not very helpful. That's where Columnstore Indexing comes in. Hello, I am Prajwol, and today I will be talking about Columnstore Indexing along with its pros and cons associated with it. So stay tuned. Columnstore indexing is a method of organizing the data column-wise, where values from same columns of different records are stored together. To achieve this, each column of data is stored and indexed separately, which makes it easier to access and query specific columns of a data without having to read the entire table. This can be useful for applications that only need to access a small number of columns from a large table, because it reduces the amount of data that needs to be read from the disk. This in turn reduces the time and resources that is needed to process the data by the query, because the query only needs to read the columns that it requires. Moreover, data that are indexed column-wise can be compressed much efficiently, which is why column store indexes are desired form of indexing in data warehousing and business intelligence applications where large amounts of data are analyzed using complex queries. For example, suppose we have a table called sales that contains data on sales transaction. This table might have the following columns. A column store index on this table would store the data for each column in a separate index, like this. Suppose we want to find the total number of products sold and the total amount of sales for each customer. With traditional index, the database would need to read through the entire table, summing the quantity and amount for each customer. With column store index, the database would simply read the quantity and amount columns from the index and perform the aggregation directly. For example, to find the total number of products sold for customer 51, the database would look up the entries for customer ID 51 in the quantity and amount columns of the index and then sum them up to get the result 13. Similarly, to find the total amount of sales for customer 51, the database would sum the entries for customer ID 51 in the amount column of the index to get the result of 1500. This can be much faster than reading through the entire table as a traditional index would require. Some potential advantages of using column store indexes include improved query performance. Because column store index store data for each column separately, they can reduce the amount of data that needs to read and process when executing certain types of queries. This can lead to significant performance improvements, especially for queries that only access a small number of columns from large table. Reduced storage space. Column store indexes can compress data more effectively than row store indexes, which can help reduce storage space requirement and lower the overall cost of storing data. Better support for data warehousing and business intelligence workloads. Column store indexes are well suited for data warehousing and business intelligence workloads. Large amount of data are typically analyzed using complex queries. They can improve the performance of these types of workloads and make it easier to extract insights from data. Enhanced data analysis capabilities. Because column store indexes store data in a different way than row store indexes, they can enable more advanced data analysis capabilities, such as ability to perform fast aggregations and calculations on large datasets. This can help users gain a deeper understanding of their data and make better informed decisions. Although column store indexes are very convenient in some cases, it is not without its disadvantages. One potential disadvantage of using Columnstore Index is that they may not be as efficient for certain type of workloads. For example, they are not well suited for tasks that require frequent updates or inserts because they store data in a way that makes it difficult to efficiently modify individual rows or columns. In contrast, row store indexes are better suited for workloads that require frequent updates because they store data in a way that makes it easier to modify individual rows. Additionally, column store indexes can be more complex to create and maintain than row store indexes, which can add to overall cost of using them. They may also require specialized hardware and software to support their use, which can increase the overall cost of implementing a column store index. Overall, the decision to use a column store index should be based on the specific need of the workload and the type of data you are working with. If your workload requires frequent updates or insert, or if you need to support complex transactions, then row store index may be better choice. On the other hand, if you are working with large amount of data that are mainly analyzed using complex queries, then a column store index may provide a significant performance benefits. In this video, we looked at the purpose of column store indexing along with its pros and cons. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. Spiralogics SkillUp was a great experience for me, not only because I got to share the knowledge that I have in certain domain with others, but also because it encouraged me to engage in something that's not part of my routine work. I was very excited from the day that I was called up for a SkillUp video. Part of it was because I had seen some fantastic videos made by my seniors at the office. I had made up my mind to make a video on some topic related to database, and what better topic than column store indexing. After that, I thoroughly enjoyed my time researching for the topic, and in that process, I got to learn so much myself that I otherwise would not have put a lot of effort to learn. For instance, I knew quite a bit about column store indexing and its workings, but in order to ensure that everything that I am speaking is factually correct, while also making sure that my content is understandable by as many people as possible regardless of their background, I had to go an extra mile, which I believe turned out to be more beneficial to me. And of course, speaking in front of camera after a long time has certainly given me some degree of confidence boost as well. Not to mention the team behind making the SkillUp videos were really fun to work with. They guided me at each step, starting with how I can improve my script to how to deliver it while recording the video. So I did not need to put a lot of effort besides reciting the content that I have prepared. Kudos to the production team for that. All in all, it has been a very delightful experience for me. Thank you.